DC Multiverse!
Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brad the DC Universe Geek, and today in the action figure hot seat we have the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Connor Kent action figure. Front of the box, McFarlane Collector's Edition. You can see some of the goodies that we get inside through that big open window. On the side of the box we have Connor Kent Teen Titans. And on the back we have a fantabulous image of Connor Kent doing what he does best, fighting bad guys in style. So that's enough jibber jabber about the packaging and all that stuff. Why don't we yank this guy out and have a little peekaroo at what we get on the inside. Okay, and everything is all out, and this is everything that we got in the package. We have this here action figure base that looks like he just landed a little bit too hard on Main Street. We have an action figure flight stand, as well as his regular black action figure base. We have the first of two interchangeable heads on top of the head that came on the body. And this is the shaven head Lex Luthor-y style head sculpt because, well, Connor Kent is a clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. We've also got two more interchangeable hands. We have an open grippy trigger finger hand because, well, I have no idea. And then we have a pointy finger accusatory hand. And of course we have the trading card, which, looking up close, that's what the front looks like. Same image as the back of the box. And here is the data file on the back of the trading card. Feel free to pause to read if you like. And then of course we got the figure which comes with the other hands and the final remaining head sculpt, giving us a grand total of 3 head sculpts. Some people have pointed out that this body looks like it's mostly a reuse from the Todd McFarlane action figure, and you know what? They'd be right. Looking at these two side by side, you can tell that this is very largely a reuse, except for the arms, that being from the bottom of the t-shirt sleeve all the way down to his fist there. Those are actually newly sculpted parts, but everything else, yeah, it's all a reuse from the Todd McFarlane action figure. And while we're comparing, we might as well compare him to other black t-shirted Connor Kent Superboy figures. Here we have DC Direct on one side and DC Universe Classics, or rather the Signature Series, on the other. Here he is compared to the previous Connor Kent figure released from McFarlane Toys, the leather jacket messy hair version. Just for funsies, here he is compared to Steel and a DC Direct Cyborg Superman. And then finally here we have him jammed in between Superman and a custom Lex Luthor action figure, just because he's part Supes and part Luthor. All right, and in hand, let's take a closer look at this guy, shall we? The S emblem on the front of Superboy's t-shirt has been done very nicely. That suits him very well, nice and clean and crisp. His arms look properly proportioned inside of his t-shirt there. You can see his biceps sticking out. He's got the pair of blue pants, his nice blue jeans here, and his black buckly boots. From the back, yep, that's what he looks like. Just a black t-shirt and his arms, and there's the back of his pants. He has no pockets. Why do his pants have no pockets? Close up, Superboy's face sculpt actually looks quite nice. This is a perfect kon-el, perfect Connor Kent Superboy face sculpt. I don't have any complaints about this whatsoever, and the paint on mine looks pretty neat. Yeah, I like this. This head sculpt looks fantastic. Same thing with the angry face sculpt. Not the face sculpt I'm going to keep on the body, but they did a fantastic job with it. It looks really, really well done. And again, same thing with the Luthor-ish head sculpt, where he's got his head shaven, got the fire coming out of his eyes. It looks really well done. Now, I wonder how articulated he is, because I really have not tried yet. I haven't tried anything yet, so this is the first time I'm trying his articulation. So if the top portion in his torso does rotate around, he doesn't really get much in the way of an ab crunch from this. Like, I'm really pushing this and working it, and like this is what we're getting. If I push any harder, I'm afraid that I'll break it. We have the arms. They go up to a sufficient T. Of course, we have the socket. We have the rounded hinge. We're going to have a bicep swivel, a full bicep swivel right there at the t-shirt line. You're going to have double jointed elbows that crunch up nicely. You have that rounded shaped hinge with the hand on the end there. The waist actually does get a reasonable amount of articulation there. And the same thing can be said for the head sculpt. The head gets an okay amount. You can't now. The thing is though, and I noticed this actually earlier on when I was trying to pose him, there's absolutely no ability to get him to put his head back for a flight pose. That is not a thing that you can do with this guy. However, he does have that McFarlane groin down here. And what does he have as far as any kind of rotation? Oh, it's stiff, but it's there. He does have full rotation. That would be the approximation of a thigh cut. He's got double jointed knees and they crunch up when I force them. That much, no more, no less. We're going to look at his ankles here on the rounded hinge pivot with the toe articulation. Is that as far as it goes? Oh no, no, he can break his toe right back. Wow. So that's the level of articulation you're going to get from this guy. It's not the greatest, but it could be a lot worse, I would think. Like, some of the points are really well. It's just the torso here, the chest is just... I really wish we were going to see more articulation from his chest. That's something that really helps to get into dynamic poses. For those of you who are really into posing your figures, you're going to miss the fact that the chest doesn't really have a ton of articulation there. So what do I think about this Superboy figure? Well, I think that he's fan-diddly-tastic, and I wasn't going to pick him up. I didn't even pre-order him, and then I walked into GameStop, and there he was. He was like, take me home, add me to your collection. So I did, and here he is, and now he's in this video, and eventually he's going to be on my shelf. So yeah, I like him. If you see him in the wild, don't hesitate to pick him up if Superboy is your thing, because I think that this figure is a fantastic rendition of Connor Kent in his black t-shirt emo era. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you with the next one. Have a DC day, everybody, and take care. Bye-bye.